If you're somebody who likes to track your net worth or you have a high net worth, this episode is for you. I have a very special guest today, a private banker with extraordinary experience. And she's going to tell us what is a private banker and who needs a private banker. But before we talk to her, why don't you hit that like and subscribe button for me? You're listening to Financial Sense, Arizona's financial podcast that gives you insights that you could only get from a friend in the business. Recorded and brought to you by National Bank of Arizona, the bank of the community. Hello, I'm Brent Cannon. I'm the president and director of the community bank here at National Bank of Arizona. Today, we have a very special guest, Margaret Paddock. Margaret is our new executive vice president and director of the private bank. Margaret, welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Oh, man, this is going to be great. Today, not only are we going to talk all things private banking, but we have a special announcement that we'll share at the end of the show. So make sure and stay tuned. Margaret, I guess the best place to start is what is private banking and what does a private banker do?
Well, Brent, thanks for asking. A private banker works with specific clients that have more complex financial needs,
Right.
And tend to need more specialized and customized products and services.
So versus, say, a retail banking client.
Potentially, yes. So
Okay.
they tend to have a higher net worth, and so their financial world is a little bit more complex.
A little more sophisticated.
Correct.
So in general, who's a typical client for private banking?
So a typical client for private banking would be a person or a family that has an excess of about $1 million in liquidity.
Okay.
Typically, it has more to do with the complexity of the client's financial world instead of a dollar amount, but $1 million is about a mark that would come into play.
Gotcha. And if I were a private banking client, what are some of the things I should expect in that relationship?
Yeah, so it's more about the team and the talent that surrounds that client who have a higher net worth and have that complexity. They are trained specifically for that reason to work with those types of clients.
Gotcha.
So it's marrying up the resources and the talent with the need of the client.
So if I'm a client, I assume I would have my own banker.
Correct. So the private banker would be on the team as the relationship manager, along with a wealth advisor.
Got it.
To manage the assets, a portfolio manager. In specific types of client relationships, we would also have a trust officer if there are trust needs. And then also a financial planner, because we always want to start with a financial plan
Right.
before we start doing anything with the client. We really need to understand what their goals and objectives are.
Right. I guess the old adage, don't solve too fast, right? Take the time to really understand.
Absolutely, because without that, I would say roadmap, but people don't know what maps are anymore. So
Right.
imagine getting in your car without any type of an idea of where you're going. And
Yeah.
there's no nav system and there's no map.
Right.
So that's what a financial plan does for us.
Do clients, private bank clients, do they kind of get a higher level of service?
I would say it's not a higher level of service. I would like to think that all of our branches, our branch customers, all of our bankers across our organization give each and every one of their clients a white glove service.
Right.
I would say it's just customized. Again, customized to their needs because it's specific and different
Right.
than others. It's not better or worse.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. And I know the number of clients a private banker will have in their portfolio would be less than, say, a branch,
Substantially less.
which allows them
Yes.
to provide that really higher level of customized service.
Yes, and it allows the client, if they have any financial need, any financial change over time, which we all know things change over time,
Right.
they have one person that they can call
Right.
on, and they can take care of anything that has to do with their financial well-being.
At any time.
At
I
any
suspect.
time, they have the roadmap. They know where the client wants to get to, so they will help them along that path.
To me, that's the next level service. And I know just being a customer, I'm a customer of the bank. It means the world to me to have a banker understand my financial picture, where I'm trying to go, shared goals. And so I don't have to retell the story
That's right.
every time.
We get to know their families. We get to know their dreams, their goals, their objectives, what's important to them. And we do meet with our clients at least once a year, usually more often, really dictated by what the client wants, how often they want to meet,
Right.
because things change over time.
Right.
We all know that, right? Things don't stay static. So we'll do a financial plan, which is a snapshot of a place and time, but that financial plan will change and evolve moving forward.
So, Margaret, it sounds like there's some great services that clients of the private bank get. Any other services you'd like to talk about?
Well, we also put out pieces, white papers, economic and market updates. We have that quarterly. That might be of interest to some.
Yep.
We also have something that is also quarterly that is put together by a third party, and it is the High Net Worth Report. It's specifically regarding Arizona, the economy, the housing market, those types of things, but
Right.
it is specific to Arizona.
Yeah, really relevant for that client base,
Yep.
probably doing a lot of investing.
For sure.
So, yeah, really great information, I'll bet. Moving on, let's talk a little bit about your background.
Okay.
Your leadership style, kind of how you go about leading your team of private bankers.
Well, my background is 30 years in banking, specifically in wealth management, private banking. So I have spent my entire career serving clients that are in the high net worth realm.
Right.
How I lead my team, I would say, is I always put the client first and what is best for the client and the client experience. If you ask yourself that question, no matter the circumstance, you'll always get to the right answer
Right.
by putting the client first.
Right.
And I think that's what's unique about National Bank of Arizona, and that's why I joined.
And one of the things that I've witnessed getting to work with you is you place the client's needs high, but also you place our job of really meeting their needs in a timely manner as a really important priority.
Yeah, absolutely. These folks are, not that we're not all busy, but these folks tend to be very accomplished professionals.
Right.
And they expect a high level of service. And so
Right.
that's what we strive to give them and
Right.
deliver.
So if I was looking for a private banker,
Mm-hmm.
what are some of the things that I should be looking for in that banker?
Well, I do get that question quite a bit. And friends and family and clients where they meet with either a financial advisor or a private banker, and they say, I'm not quite sure if that person is a good fit.
Right.
And I would answer that with, you've answered that question correctly, because it is all about trust. You are entrusting
Right.
this person and the team with your future and with the nest egg that you've built across your entire career. And if you don't have 100% trust in that person, you should interview somebody else.
And it leads me to think one more question on this topic, but how important would you say communication is between banker and client?
Communicate,
Yeah.
right? So we don't know what we don't know. And so it's important for us to ask the right questions.
Right.
But it's also important that the client share with us as much as they feel comfortable doing.
Right.
And in addition to that, we also see either husband or wife come in individually. Maybe one or the other were the ones that was the career person,
Right.
or came into the relationship with the assets. But it is really important that we work with both
Yeah.
partner or spouse, because they need to feel like they're part of the process.
Right.
And, we don't know what's around the corner.
Right.
And so one might be left without the other.
That's right.
And so it's important for both of the couple to feel comfortable with their team.
Yeah. Margaret, thanks for sharing these thoughts. Your background is impressive, and you've been doing this a long time, as you stated, in this space, which is really, really great. And it's why I am so excited to announce that you are going to become a co-host of the Financial Sense podcast.
That I am.
Cannot wait. The way this is going to work is I'm going to continue to host small business and consumer topics, and Margaret is going to be hosting personal finance and wealth topics.
I am.
And I think there's an incredible need for that. And we've heard in feedback from and also from clients that these are really important topics. And let's face it, we're all aging and moving towards a place where we're going to need those where those topics become even more important.
Yes, they do. And across the span of an individual's financial life cycle, there are different things in each decade of our lives that we should be keenly focused in on
Right.
and be aware of.
Right.
And so there are tips and tricks that we can offer everyone in any age group, in any amount of wealth. But of course, our goal is to get each and every one of our customers at National Bank of Arizona into the private bank.
Absolutely. Well, Margaret, thank you so much for joining us today. And I know I and everyone are really looking forward to you hosting these really important topics. I think they're going to be a great addition to Financial Sense, which, we've been trying to share with the audience and anybody that'll listen, all these and discuss all of these really important topics that, frankly, a lot of people don't know a lot about. They don't spend their time like we do
Right.
thinking about financial services, and that's just, I think this has really been a forum to share that information. So it's going to be very exciting.
Yep. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Thank you so much for joining us today. And as always, please check us out on your favorite podcasting platform or check us out on YouTube. And don't forget to like and subscribe.